Peace, 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 family. This is your girl Nabi. Just weighing in for a minute. I was able to look at some news that has recently happened about an Army vet losing his life at the hands of a sister over a Walmart parking slot. And I didn't hear about this. I know that Brother Nasir did a post. I had a lot of commentary, so I didn't really want to hear that. I wanted to see what actually happened. And so I looked at a few news reports and a few clips and uh, listened to one person that was in law enforcement talk about it. Um, but what got me up here, I wasn't going to say anything about it, but there was a news report out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I can't tell you what channel it is because I left a comment down there. Um, who's in the chat? Hey, Crypto. Um, and the news report, this particular news report regarding this, they use keywords like the victim. Uh, we have the daughter of the army vet who was distraught and who was estranged, and they were trying to rebuild their relationship, and so they put that out there in a little clip, and it kind of pissed me off, and that's the reason why I'm up here right now. Okay, what I'm reminded of, and I hate race baiting. Okay, anybody who knows me know that I kind of frown on this uh, black white narrative that we have. But in listening to this, I was reminded of Carmelo, Carmelo Anthony. And when that first came out, if anyone remembers, okay, and I didn't weigh in on the Carmelo Anthony thing that was going on, but I did watch it from the bleachers, if you would. I remember that as soon as it happened, they started to put up the Metcalf guy and him saying something to say it wasn't racially motivated or something and not to push that narrative. But at the end of the day, Carmelo Anthony is sitting in jail, okay, behind that event. Like, you can't fight for yourself, you can't defend yourself. And when I saw this news report that of all the ones that were put out here in a rather neutral, unbiased, matter of fact era stance, you got this one news report that comes up that we should, you know, be sitting up here weeping and crying because an army vet who had a family lost his life. Well, what if it was the other way around? What if she didn't have a gun? Okay. What if she wasn't utilizing stand your ground and self defense and all of that, and she would have got her ass beat in between the two cars? Who was going to rescue her? Okay. Because he was definitely approaching her, and he, as someone who was trained, should have walked away. So I'm not buying this, oh, he's a victim. Yes, he lost his life, but that decision was a decision that he made on his own for not de-escalating the situation. Now I saw another video. Okay, now y'all can go back and look at the videos, see what you see up there. It's happened. People have been reporting on it for like about 4 days, 4 days ago. And I'm looking at the sister, and they have a couple pictures of her. They show one video, one channel has two pictures of both people. Okay, and I'm looking at the sister, and even when you look at the video, it looks like she has uh, two thick dreadlocks down her head. But then I found another video that was reporting this, and like I said, I'm on my phone, so I can't really show y'all anything. Um, what I'm talking about, you guys could probably see it yourself. But one video, they seem like they got more information because I'm like, man, I really want to see if she was on the phone with 911 with the dispatchers, but if she had an angle with her phone, which more than likely she didn't if she was on the phone with 911, but I would have liked to have seen another angle. So I was looking to see if there was anything else. And so this one comes up where you see them both standing there like, this is before the altercation starts and somebody's recording it at this point. And then they show, of course, the army vet, and then they have a picture of her. But this picture does not look like her. Okay. It looks like her hair is free flowing, like the wigs and everything like that, as opposed to two dreadlocks down her back, if you would. Okay. From the picture, one of the pictures that I saw. And I said, here's the fucking problem with AI. Okay. Because people are putting up AI images, and I don't even think that that was that person. So the thing that I'm looking at right here is, if we're going to report this, don't fall for the same okey doke. Go get the real information as far as the sister is concerned. What I want to know is, who she is. Okay. I want to know her story. I don't want to be whining and crying about some army vet. Thank you for your service. Okay. But some army vet who should have known not to walk into a gun being Billy Badass and shit. Because this is what's getting ready to happen all across the country. We as melanated people who have been disenfranchised, tired of the bullshit, tired of being marginalized and ignored, and um, you know, laws apply to everybody but us, or whatever the fuck it is. This is what's getting ready to happen. Okay, we're going to take our safety, our protection, and our own pursuit of happiness into our own hands, like it or not. Okay, now I'm waiting for the phone call. I'm waiting for. This is what I'm going to be looking for. I'm waiting for the 911 audio, because what we know from these Karen encounters is that a Karen will get on the phone and start lying like a son of a bitch. Okay. And I want to hear that audio. That's what I want to hear. And I know it ain't none of my business or anything like that. I'm just a content creator weighing in on something. That's all this is a weigh in. Okay. But I want to hear that message, and I want to see how, excuse my language, how these motherfuckers try to play this shit. Okay. Because she de-escalated. She walked away. The one officer, former um, detective or whatever that was analyzing this, talked about when he is in an encounter with someone and they start to back up, it is them subconsciously letting you know subconsciously that they don't want to engage. And that's exactly what she did. But yet you got this funky ass channel out of Florida pulling on people's heartstrings about some daughter that lost her father. What about all the people who have lost their parents, their brothers, their sisters, this, that, and the other? You gonna play this up right here because he was an army veteran? What about regular fucking citizens that the army and the military is supposed to protect anyway? Or does that all go out the window on this black white shit, this male female shit? Okay, because he shouldn't have been walking up on her, and we shouldn't have to go call a bunch of brothers to go take care of some man that is exercising his masculinity around here, and his status and his title and all of this shit. Y'all gonna stop fucking with us. Okay, y'all gonna stop fucking with us. So I shout out the sister. Unfortunately, the man lost his life. Okay, but it was by his own hands. Because some people, you can't, no matter how much you tell them stop doing dumb shit, they want to do dumb shit. Okay, and unfortunately he lost his life over some white paint on black asphalt. Okay, in a Walmart parking lot. Yeah. I'm not trying to be cold hearted about it, but this sister better not end up in jail. This sister shall not better not end up being um, demonized because she stood up for herself. We're tired. That's what the narrative should be. We're tired. Okay. Not no black, white shit, not even male, female shit. Just right is right at this point. Okay. So I'm going to encourage a few of you out here who want to play the black, white shit. Don't do it, because it was, you know, what they call a happy little suggestion. I know y'all heard me say happy little suggestions before. When Metcalf came out and said it wasn't a race thing, they were putting in a happy little suggestion, swaying the narrative up front. And you see how it ended up with Carmelo in jail for however long he's going to be in jail. 30 fucking years or something like that. You got police officers out here unaliving people. You got other folks, just different scenarios out here, and they're getting 2 years and shit. Okay, 3 years and shit. And Carmelo, he gets what, 30 years? You know what I'm saying? Don't demonize this woman. Okay, we're tired. Okay, we're tired of having to make concessions for other folks and allowing that to be done. Give you a good example, and I don't know if this will resonate with any of you, but I'll try it this way. We run up here and talk this black white shit about the Dred Scott case. Shut the fuck up, okay? Talk the case about Bridget Biddy Mason, who started, who had the first Lutheran church in Los Angeles, who did the same thing before Dred Scott and won her freedom. Okay, but I know that's an East Coast thing over there with Missouri even going that way to the east, because he got into free territory and thought he could do some shit rather than standing on who he is. We have a right to bear arms. We have constitutional rights. Now, if you don't want us to have them, then you take them from everybody and we can go wild, wild west around this bitch. I'm sorry, I'm a little frustrated. I'm a little pissed off this morning, okay? But, yeah, just over that video of the person just trying to play it up like, oh, look at the victim. They had a family. She got a family too. What if she didn't make it home to her family? What if she was in the hospital? Okay. You know, a whole lot of things. I mean, a whole fucking lot of things. I sit up here, y'all know I have this little breathing problem sometimes. And sometimes I get caught up where I gotta, if I exert too much power, then, you know, I can't breathe almost to the point of passing out, right? So I think about this shit when we talk about getting accosted by the police, watching the videos where people get accosted by the police and stuff like that. And I'm like, I have to submit to a certain extent to de-escalate immediately, because I can't take being thrown against a car, thrown on the ground, knee on my back and all this other shit. I can't take it. And it's a lot of people out there, but we don't get this. And here's the problem with that. Let me just throw this out here. Things that I thought about in that situation. You know how y'all always run around here talking about I can't breathe. I can't breathe because of George Floyd and all that shit. And they're like, as long as you can talk, you can breathe. Imagine me telling them I can't breathe and I really can't breathe. Okay, we got to do a little bit better. Okay, we got to stop fucking crying wolf all the way around here on some shit. Oh, look how much of a victim we are and they don't pay attention to our rights and this, that, and the other. Stop it. Just stand up. Just fucking stand up. Okay? No narratives needed. Okay? No crocodile tears needed. Okay? No concessions needed. She stood her ground. Same thing that's going to happen to me if anybody pulls up on me like that too. Because we're tired. Okay? We ain't throwing hands no more. Okay? We ain't getting slapped out in the middle of the street by some man. We ain't doing that no more. Okay? We're tired. Okay? You know, we ain't got time to play. People got shit to do. But anyway, I just wanted to weigh in real quick on this to say, watch how this narrative plays out and don't play into it. Okay? It's obvious that somebody's getting ready to play a race card on this shit right here. Okay, I stand with the sister. She protected herself, and that's what we all need to do. If you haven't taken any types of classes or any training, get trained. Okay, if you got to be locked and loaded and you got to carry, do that. If you got to get martially art, trained through the martial arts, do that. Okay, if you got to learn how to wield a stick, a baton, a machete, a pocket knife, a fork, a spoon, a shoe, I don't give a fuck. Do that. Because when it comes to protecting ourselves, only ones we got to look out for ourselves is us. Okay? But don't let them play with your mind, because this is what they've been doing the whole time. So y'all watch this narrative coming through. Okay? You watch this narrative, and then if y'all were on Dulce's, as far as that's concerned, the situation, I think it was in South Carolina and Cherokee, some kind of event where they dispersed a crowd or whatever. I only heard a little bit of it. You know, watch out for that one as well, because I think they're going to try to run OTK's nephew up the flagpole on this. And I think, according to him, that his nephew was trying to break that up, and they were all getting pulled around. But I know how we'll look at this. We're like, oh, they were white police officers, so fuck them, and this, that, and the other. You can't get justice when you're biased about it. Okay, we are in some aspects so willing to, and I hate to use this, um, because the Bible says one thing, and I don't really want to go that way, but I'm just saying, let me try it another way. Um, I think it's impossible to cry foul when there's injustice and look the other way when that same injustice happens to somebody else. Um, to say, oh, it don't matter, they were white. That's not a concession y'all want to make, because it allows the other person, the other group, the other entities, um, the ones with the affinities for such narratives, to still slight you, because if you did it, they can do it. And if, yeah. So, like, I left a comment on the other channel, and I hope y'all understood what I said. I'm just rambling right here, but like I left on the channel, Mr. Newscaster, do better. Y'all need to do better on that, and on our side, please do better. Okay? Let's not let them bait us into some more race bullshit. All right? Because they like doing that shit, and y'all make it real convenient for them when y'all holler about America and the United States as if you don't like being here. I would see the little signs that say, this is America, and if you don't like it, leave. And I used to get pissed off about that. But I thought about it this 4th of July, and I was like, fuck that shit. If you don't like it, no matter who you are, then leave. Okay? But some of these narratives of how we hate the corporation and we hate the government and this, that, and the other, and the man and the cracker, is the very reason why you're in the situation that you're in. Because you won't let it go. Okay? Um, there's an old statement that said, to keep a man down, you got to stay down there with him. Well, for some of y'all could actually get up, but y'all like wallowing in that mess. And this is part of the problem. Okay? Because you can't judge correctly. Some can't judge correctly because they want to sway a narrative to fuck with your emotions, to get you all caught up in emotional reaction. Not this time. Not with her. Not with that sister. And I know that some of our own don't even like sisters. Okay? I know some of these brothers out here, excuse me, fellas, but I know some of these brothers out here, only thing they glad is that they're not a black woman. And they would throw us under the bus just to save their own asses. Don't do it. You red pill, blue pill, manosphere motherfuckers, don't do it. Because you can't throw a sister under the bus and then act like you ain't sucking the white. I'm sorry, I almost said some shit. My bad, but y'all get where I'm coming from. Don't let them play with you emotionally on this one, okay? We talk about all the things that aren't right with us, that doesn't happen right according to us, but then at the end of the day, the us that we talking about don't do a goddamn thing, okay? There are so many things that we as a people could have affected and changed, but we like wallowing in the dirt of the narratives that have been put out here for us to distract us from doing the most effective things that we can do. And I'm not talking about running around having a temper tantrum, talking about we're not treated fair and we're a victim and the cracker did. I'm not talking about that shit because that's why we're still in the situation. Any one of these situations we could have affected a long ass time ago. But now all we got to do is sit up and say how more unfair it is, how much more it cost us to just live a basic life when we could have fixed that shit before. I'm just saying, just some shit that I was thinking about. Um, I see a few of you in the chat. I see you, Savage, Poison Puppet, Crypto Cakes. I'm not sure who else is in here. But yeah, y'all watch out for this narrative of them spinning it to make that Army veteran way up here like he's a saint and try to put that sister way down at the bottom like she was wrong. No. He blocked her path and she had enough ingenuity to still get in that parking spot and he was pissed. I want to see the rest of the video. I want to see what Walmart's video has. Okay? So if y'all see anything about this, hey, Brother Nasir, if y'all see anything about this, please share it out here on YouTube so that we can stay aware of this and not let it be swept under the rug and then us scrambling with the narrative or commentary when it's too late. That sister should be well justified in what she did. Unfortunately, he lost his life because he didn't have situational awareness in this situation. Okay. Um, but don't use this to say that we're just a victim. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay. Um, so that's me. That's what I wanted to weigh in on just because I saw it. Nasir, I was over there with yours and I was just like, I want to see the video. And then I had to jump off of it to go find the video without the commentary. And some news reports. But if y'all pull it up, Army veteran, um, what is it? Allegedly shot to death or something like that, or Army veteran shooting, you should be able to find it. And just look at what's out there. Look at the news report. There's some that are neutral. There's one that is biased, which is the one one of the reasons why I'm up here with this attitude and speaking on this right now, because that's some bullshit. I don't give a shit about the daughter. Let's talk about the situation. Okay. Let's not play with our heartstrings and, oh, we should feel bad because he has a daughter. Well, did she have a daughter? Did she have a family? Does she have a family? What was she trying to protect? Herself? Did it matter? Or did y'all just concern yourself with him because he signed up to protect? Ain't that what the Army is supposed to do, protect people's rights? Oh, but he didn't have to do that once he got home? Yeah, no duty at all. She had no duty to retreat, and she did several times. Okay. I see a spot in there where they might try to play it, so y'all please be careful. They might try to play it in the opposite fashion, so please be careful on this. Okay. He kept approaching, and he should have taken his ass in the store and got whatever his 62-year-old ass needed and left her the fuck alone. Okay. Um, shit. I was gonna say something else. Um, yeah, I forgot. Okay, so yeah, you got one that's sitting up here trying to play it on the, white fragility, white victim. Oh my God, humanity. See us as human, we see you as human. How about that? Okay. Really? Can I do that? Okay, let me see if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that on my phone, sweetheart. Let me see. I got a few minutes. I'm supposed to be doing some stuff, but I ain't got up yet. Let's see if we can get it. Okay. I knocked myself all the way out. Come on up, brother Nasir. Let's chop it up for a minute. Y'all can hit that link if y'all want to. See how this goes. Yeah, I thought they were supposed to hurt flies, and I mean, I'm just saying, bro, go sit your ass down. If I hear y'all pop in, I'll bring y'all in. Nasir, you're welcome to come on up. Savage, you can come up too. Anybody else? I hear the pop. See if we can get you in. I'm on my phone, so I don't know how this works. I might have to bring my computer, but I don't know. Let's bring you in, brother Nasir. What's up, brother?
Peace, sister. How you doing?
I'm okay, Nasir. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, sis. I covered this yesterday, and I share your sentiments. In the state of Florida, you can actually pull your gun to deter a person from a threat. Also, you can pull your gun. I have
Mm-hmm.
had people on these platforms talking about she didn't have to pull her gun. Yes, she did. It's several examples of people not even given as much grace and consideration than the sister did. You know, she didn't have to do any of things what she did. Now the guys advancing towards her and she's backing up around cars and everything. How long did they expect that sister to actually run from that guy? And the media is so biased because first, we don't know the expression on the guy's face and we don't know what he's saying to her
Mm-hmm.
while she's backing up. We don't know any of that because they cut the sound out. And we don't know the expression on his face because some of these people can be real crazy with how they look when they're coming towards you. And she's backing up. He left and came back, according to the news. He left and came back. So that means he was
Mm-hmm.
determined. What I think is being a Army veteran, militarily trained, I think he's going to try to overpower her and take her weapon.
Yeah,
This,
I
that's
think
the
I
only
heard
thing.
you say that.
I
Mm-hmm.
think he's gonna try. I think he's gonna try to do that because he kept advancing towards her, you know, etching closer and closer to her. And besides a death threat, that's the only other thing in that equation. You're constantly advancing towards a woman who's not a mutual combatant because she's retreating with the gun. Didn't have to do that, but she's retreating with the gun, evading him while he advanced towards her. And she's on the phone with the police while she's doing it.
Which was excellent from one of the videos that I was listening to, which was an excellent idea. Like the former detective was saying, or police officer, whichever one he was. You know, he was saying that you can't sway a narrative when you're on the phone with
Exactly.
911 with the dispatchers in real time. So yeah,
Exactly.
that was excellent.
Yeah, that was
I shout the
brilliant.
sister out for maintaining her composure in that and
Me-
thinking through it, because they would have rather for her to been up there kicking and screaming and hollering and ooh, the angry black woman and shit.
Nah,
Excuse my language.
she was just warning him, look, stay back, and she was evading him, and he kept coming
Mm-hmm.
towards her. And I am so, he evidently didn't know the laws of Florida, being from New Jersey. He was from New Jersey, the guy, originally from New
Mm.
Jersey. So
Okay.
evidently somebody didn't tell him what the laws of Florida is. I don't know how long he's been in Florida, but somebody should have told him that no one has the duty to retreat when you are advancing towards them the way he was. And,
Yeah.
you can't do that. And when she shot him, she had every right to shoot him because he would not stop. And when regardless to what the prosecution say, if there is a prosecution, once they play the tape and once they play the dispatch footage, the audio, I don't see how she could be even charged once they play the audio and the the audio footage of dispatch. She's on the phone with the police while she's look, this guy's you better come get him.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me, but we can't know for sure until that
We
event.
can't
But
we
here's
can't
the thing. With her making that phone call, Nasir, and being on the phone, notice how it was different than it could have been. Because if she wasn't on the phone when they showed up, a black woman shoots a white man in the parking lot, they gonna go, jack her up, throw her to the ground, all this other shit, and she could almost lost her life. But the fact that she was
or
on the
yeah,
phone,
yeah, yeah.
the fact that she
Or
was on
draw
the
down
phone
on
with
her.
him, mm-hmm. But
Draw
the
down
fact that
on
she
her
was
on
on the
sight.
phone was totally different. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because they draw down on us at sight because they were not thinking that we will exercise those same laws that they think only apply to them. That's the issue. A lot of them think the law only applies to them, and that's problematic because if you have a law in place that no one, if you're in a place lawfully, meaning you have the right to be there, you're not committing a crime, you're not creating a nuisance in that area, you're not being the aggressor, you have the right to pull your gun if someone is aggressing you. She wasn't committing a crime. She was going to Walmart. She had the right to be there, and she wasn't in the commission of a crime. In all
Yeah, I would like to
actuality,
see
the
the
man, the
video.
man was the man was in the commission of a crime because he was, that's what happens when you're a bully and when you know somebody's afraid of you and you just won't relent. That's what happens.
Or just, not even afraid, just want to keep the peace, don't want all that
Exactly.
trouble. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
exactly. Afraid and cowardice is two things because there's nothing wrong with, backing up. It's nothing wrong with backing up because you're not a mutual combatant. Some people just don't want no trouble.
Yeah.
Some people just don't want trouble. But if you bring it out of a person, I always say, a person that's afraid of you will hurt you if you don't leave them alone. It's a situation in New Jersey. It was a cop who always, every time he seen this brother, he stopped them and harassed them. He would not leave this brother alone. So one
hmm
night, the cop was parked in the area waiting for him so he can harass him. He crept up on him, and you know the rest. I don't have to say the rest of it, but he crept up on him
Yeah, yeah.
and
Did was
blomped him.
bullies. Bullies. I like bullies. I like not bullies. I like the people that bully bullies. Okay, they're my favorite
That was
people.
that was
Okay.
me. That was me in school. I was that type to say, "Oh, let me see you do that to me." That was me.
hmm Yep.
Do that to me. Pull her hair again. That type of shit.
Yeah, and that's why when it comes to being out here, we can't be so emotional. I've watched so many videos of police interactions where if people were just to take the time, and I hate to say it this way, count to 10 and really
Yeah,
rationally think about the situation rather than being emotional, some of us would catch them rather than them catching us.
yeah. Woosah.
And that's
Exactly.
our fault individually
Yeah,
and collectively, just like it
yeah.
was that Army veteran's fault for losing his life.
It was his
Because
fault.
we get
Yeah,
locked into the loop. Okay, my reputation, who I am, this, that, and the other. No, see the situation for what it is.
yeah.
You know.
How
So
dare her? I'm an army veteran. Or sometimes it could be, oh, she's a woman. It could
yeah,
be that too. I mean, some people just think that they have a sick way of thinking.
yeah. I'm
That's
gonna
it.
make you cow down at whatever I can do to get the
Exactly.
advantage.
Exactly.
Okay.
Since I
You know.
appreciate the conversation, I'm about to go back into work now. I just, I want to chop it up with you real quick. I saw that you was
Appreciate it, brother
covering this,
Nasir.
stuff. And
Appreciate it.
maybe we could do that again. Yeah, I mean, you always giving us the pertinent information. You know, I don't see you as the
Right.
type that talk about the weather.
Nah, they always often
I don't,
said I was too serious in high school, so it
I
is
don't
what
see
it
you.
is.
Salute to you, sis.
Okay. You too, brother
Peace.
Nasir. Peace.
Peace.
Okay. But yeah, family, don't let them play you on your emotions as far as this is concerned for this black white thing that they want to do. Because that one little news report says that that narrative is out there and they're going to try to use it. Like I said, yeah, he had a family, but the decision that he made was his own decision, and the consequences, which we have consequences. A lot of us want to act like the consequences don't exist. That's why we have all these damn narratives out here, from religion to colorism to politics to all of this shit. That's why we got all of this shit out here, so that we can avoid the consequences, or act like the consequences aren't what the consequences are. Living in a fantasy world, if you would. Don't let them put you there. Don't let them hypnotize you with this shit. Oh, he had a daughter and they was estranged. Hell, if you want to talk about it, why were they estranged? Was her daddy an asshole? Yeah, exactly, Prison Puppet. She had a family too. Okay. You know, and what if she would have got emotional in the situation, not taking a gun, but got emotional? Next thing you know, some Karen pop out and say some shit. Let me give you an example. Some of y'all have heard the story before with me. I'm not a fighter, okay? But I had a situation, not like this one, but it did involve a car in a parking spot and being in public. And the situation was, I had this Intrepid. Y'all hear me talk about my Intrepid. I love my Intrepid that I had before, but it's got a high back in the back, so you have trouble seeing out that window. I'm short, right? And the lady in the store, I went in the store, got some coffee with some people in there, got my coffee, went back to the car, went to pull out of my parking spot. A lady walked behind me. I didn't see her. And when I finally did see a glimpse of her and stopped, I was like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Well, she starts to cuss me out. Okay. And she did it. And this is I'm saying don't be emotional, but I was emotional that day because sometimes we just need to, you know, hit somebody for some reason that ain't even related to them. But anyway, so I got out the car like, hey, I guess she wants to talk to me because she's not hearing me say, my bad, or whatever. So I went to approach her like, what's up? And, she talking all this stuff. I'm like, this bitch crazy. Okay. So I go back and I get in my car. Now, where she should have walked off kind of like this man, I went and got in my car. Instead of her walking off to the hotel where she was going, she decided to walk behind my car, which meant that I couldn't pull out of my parking spot. So I got out of the vehicle to tell her to move, and she threw her coffee on me. We started fighting. Okay. Um, I could take y'all right to the place where it was. We started fighting. Okay. And she grabbed my clothes. Okay. She grabbed my clothes. I didn't really want to hurt her because I don't really like hurting people. But it ended up being that. And I say this for this very reason. One of the white dudes that was in the store, okay, he came out the store and saw the situation. Now, I didn't want to really hurt her. I mean, I did clock her a few times, and then I said, just fuck it. She got my clothes. I'm going to dig these keys into her hands to make her let my clothes go so that I can go on about my business. I done got mine off for the coffee, and that's about all, need be done. Either way, I came out my jacket. But anyway, he comes outside and he immediately starts talking about me being the aggressor, that he sees me trying to stab her and all this shit. Your classic fucking Karen. It's all me, and not this Mexican/white woman that's actually mentally ill here. That was my take on it. Um, and so I raised both of my hands up to let him see I'm not the one holding nobody. She holding, she got me. I'm trying to, detach from the situation. So that shit didn't work. But at the same time, from all the hollering and screaming that was going on, some people, a white lady and her son came running out of the corner house right across from the gas station. And they run over there because they getting ready to save the white woman because they swear I'm beating her ass. And as I'm talking to him and I put my hands up to show I'm not the one aggressing right here. Okay. The aggression is down. The white woman and her son, they stop in their tracks because they see what it is. But I made this mention because that tall white man came out. And if anyone would have believed his story, my ass would have been in jail. Okay. She's the aggressor. I saw you do this. You didn't see shit. Okay, because a lot of this shit happened before you ever came out here. So at this point, nobody tries to break it up because, it ain't working in their favor. Let me stand back. I ain't doing nothing, the people that's standing around. So I said, fuck it. That's what it's going to be. Dragged her ass right up under the camera, kicked her 2 times in her uterus, and left. Okay. She let go of my ass then. I left my business card and said, when the police show up, I live right around the corner. Tell them to come and see me. Okay. And then I went to church, and then my pastor taught about boxing because I think some of the ministers saw me out there that morning. But anyway, I'm just saying, what if homegirl was out there? I lodged her uterus into her throat. Okay. My co-host, I called her and her mom, and they came over because my husband was asleep at the time, because it was early in the morning. I was going out to get my coffee. But they shot over there to the house and to see what was up and everything. And as they passed by the gas station, which was around the corner from my house, they had the whole ambulance over there. That bitch went to the hospital that day because I literally tried to put her uterus in her throat. Okay. And I didn't want to do it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Players Republic. I surely did. Okay. Um, but what if that sister, same thing would have happened? She wouldn't have had a gun, and she's sitting up there trying to get the attention of other people, and they're immediately thinking because she's dark skinned, she's the aggressor. Situation could have been totally different. Again, don't let them play you with this situation. With no Novocaine, yes, indeed. Okay, she ain't got to worry about that situation no more. Okay, but that was the funniest shit. I left my damn business card. Like, yeah, I live right over here. Okay, y'all call me up. They came over. And they came over to the house. I showed them how she had ripped my shirt. You know, I had on a shirt that said, "Remain calm. This is a drill." And I used to work for a company called FBI. I know y'all trip about that. I don't work for the FBI, but I used to work for a company whose initials were FBI. So I wore an FBI hat and "Be calm. This is a drill." It was a joke. It was like, it was a joke, trucking joke. And she was like, "You work for the FBI, bitch? Do I look like I work for the FBI?" Okay, no, she's crazy. Trust me, she was crazy. But she didn't want that problem. But like I said, she turned it into an aggressive situation, just like this brother turned it into an aggressive situation, and the consequences are his own. Unfortunately, he's not here to say I learned that lesson and maybe I need to change the way. But then he's also not here to say, ooh, uh, one random black person did one random thing to me, and now we're going to demonize all black people. But other people are here because you know what they say, dead men tell no tales. All right. Luckily, we have video and stuff like that today where we can look at certain things and analyze certain things. And we do have to speak up more from a knowledgeable intellectual area than from an emotional one. Okay. Sometimes it's fun to troll, but sometimes it's not advantageous for us to troll in here. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Don't let them play you with this information. Let me see if I can show y'all something. And then I'm going to go on and get off of here. It'll take me a quick second because I can't share it on here. Oh, yeah, it's still online. Let's see if I can play this for you. I'll show y'all exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Let's see if I can find this on my computer. Where's the police report? I think it might be. No. Wait, which one is it? Because I listened to several of them. Hall of Justice. I think it's Local 10. WPLG is the one I'm talking about. Let's see if I can open my camera up for you guys. I want y'all to see everything. Okay. So here's some of the ones that I looked at today. Okay. And if y'all can see, Nasir's is down there. There go Brother Nasir's right here. This is Brother Nasir's. Okay. This one, I believe, is the police officer. I think this is the ex-police officer talking about the situation. No, that might be this is the ex-police officer right here. Hall of Justice. Who is this one? This is one brother that just did it. Let me see if it's another one. I want to make sure I pull up the right one. So y'all can tell I've been looking to see what these situations were, okay? But I think it's this. Okay, check this out. I'm gonna show y'all two things. This is the one I listened to at first. It's a minute, and it's from ABC News. I want y'all to compare these two news reports, okay?
This morning, the ongoing investigation into a deadly confrontation in Florida, a parking space dispute turning deadly outside a Walmart. 62-year-old Bart DeGuglielmo shot and killed.
Female shot someone outside of the parking lot. Both of them were fighting over a parking spot.
Authorities say the altercation started about 5 minutes earlier, with the two drivers fighting over a parking spot. DeGuglielmo then parked his car, partially blocking the spot, and walked into the store. Witnesses say the woman then managed to slip into the spot anyway. The woman is then seen.
That's what he was mad about.
Car, phone in one hand, gun in the other, yelling at DeGuglielmo, who appears to be yelling back. He's then seen walking toward her as she points the gun at him. She backs up several times, gun leveled. She retreats around the car. He follows. An eyewitness says the woman repeatedly warned him she'll shoot if he keeps coming at her. He appears to leave, but then quickly returns. And then she opens fire, shooting DeGuglielmo. Police then take the woman into custody. Officials say she claims she was acting in self-defense. Now that woman is no longer in custody and the shooting is under current investigation. Prosecutors will have to decide what charges, if any at all, are warranted. Really, guys, it's just a question of, is this self-defense or not?
It is.
That's unnecessary parking spot.
All right.
Thank you.
So that's one. Now watch how they're getting ready to play it on this other channel. Let me go back to my history. Give me a second. And let's play the other one. Which one is it? I think it's this one. Let's see, is this it? Okay, if you're not 18 or above, please leave the channel because it's a inappropriate for some users warning on here. So if that is the case with you guys, that you're under 18 or squeamish, I can't remember what all they're going to show on here, but I think this is the video with the daughter in here. So anyway, let me see.
A new video raising new questions about a deadly shooting outside of a Walmart.
A father of three losing his life over a parking spot. And tonight, the woman accused of shooting him claims that she fired in self-defense. Local 10's Rochelle spoke exclusively to the victim's daughter.
Yeah, this is the one.
North Lauderdale with what the video shows. Rush.
So you just mentioned this, and this is important. This woman is claiming self-defense. She'll have to argue that she had a fear, an imminent fear for her life. Well, tonight, we have the video, and you'll see it for yourself. And what we also have tonight are the words of the victim's daughter. And you'll see how heartbroken she is. The backstory on this case, she was estranged from her dad for many years. Recently, they were trying to rebuild their lives when he lost. We're going to start this with the video. The victim with the gray shirt. The woman with the gun. There is a standoff, and then the shooting. You can hear it.
He was a good man.
A daughter in tears.
See how they playing this?
62-year-old father, Bart, shot in the stomach in a Walmart parking lot in North Lauderdale.
I just don't think anybody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot.
Cops say an adult female and the victim were involved in a verbal altercation over a parking space in the Walmart parking lot prior to the shooting.
I don't like to deal with death and like to talk about it at all. That's why I was very hesitant to do this interview.
But you are doing it. Why do you want to speak about your dad?
Because I want my dad to be remembered for who he was and not who the media is portraying him to be.
According to investigators, the shooter, the adult female, remained on scene, cooperated with detectives, and she told them the shooting was in self-defense.
He loved his country. He loved.
See how they're playing this?
Clark served in the military. There are no charges in this case at this point. Amanda says she was estranged from her dad for many years, but recently they were working on repairing their relationship. And just like that, a life lost. Throughout the interview, you can see the pain on her face.
He moved down here 3 years ago with the intentions on rebuilding the relationship.
And during the time we spoke with Amanda, the daughter, she kept repeating to me, over a parking spot. Nobody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot. I want to mention this again. No charges at this point. The investigation is ongoing. We're live in North Lauderdale. I'm Rosh Lowe, Local 10 News.
Okay, Rush, thank you. A safety alert tonight as thousands flock.
Okay, now see, that's the one that I played, and I played it in its entirety so that y'all could see. They never showed the sister other than the video. Okay, what they call this, Master Fundi Fee said it some years ago, white tears. We're not swayed by white tears anymore. That's what they're trying to do here. Okay, I get it. You find a family member, but why couldn't you give equal coverage to the situation? Why couldn't you even mention that maybe the sister didn't want to give a comment because it was ongoing investigation or anything of that nature? They put nothing up here, but they showed his army pictures. Okay, they show, oh, he's a handsome white man and he's got a family. Well, what did she do? Crawl from under a rock? Okay. So I just want y'all to see how they're swaying or trying. This one channel is trying to sway this narrative for the sake of journalism. I think they call that yellow journalism. Okay, but that's the video that caused me to come up here and say, no, I'm gonna weigh in on this, so that we won't start playing this emotional black-white game and fall for the bullshit. Okay, so family, I'm gonna go on and get out of here. I got one more day off. Whew, this weekend has kicked my ass. Okay, I'm still trying to get up, but yeah. So we'll see. Y'all be careful all that stuff they try to play on y'all, okay? Because you know when we get too something, I ain't gonna say what it is. Then they start throwing narratives out here to make sure that we can gravitate to a certain perspective to keep us in a loop. Okay. Like I said the other night, some of y'all need rehab. Okay. And I'm not talking about drug rehab. I'm talking about victimhood rehab. Okay. You know, it kind of tickles my fancy. Oh, yeah, Jim, I was supposed to do that yesterday. And I was dragging yesterday. And then by the time I was like, okay, I'll do it later. Then Dulcie came up and I didn't want to, split the audience in any way or anything like that. I was hoping Smoke would have came up yesterday. But I just didn't feel like it. I was so tired from the events of this weekend. But I'm going to read. I'm going to read. I apologize for not honoring my word and coming up Sunday, but I'm going to read. Okay. Oh, Lord Jesus, get on my phone. Okay. So let me get on out of here. I didn't want this to be long, but I did want y'all to see that. You ended up buying the book? Okay. Like I said, it was on a Google Books dot something, and it's the actual book, so it has the pictures in there and everything like that. That's a good read. I'm not sure, but I think I want to do the book on Anne Boleyn, since Anne Boleyn was mentioned in the last chapter, I believe it was, that we read on the Tudors. We also have a book over here on the Kelks or Selks, depending on how you say it, that might be of interest as well as far as this is concerned. Cara Mayo did one on how did the Irish become Indian. And I kind of got pissed off at that because I was like, y'all just not going to let me have shit. Nobody was talking about the Irish until I did. And now y'all going to sway the narrative. Let's work our way up to that area, but kind of frustrated me a little bit, but kind of got over it. Because, like I said, if you got a thought, people like locusts, they'll come steal it. And that's what I thought when I first saw that. Let me get off of here, and let me also say, hey, y'all, go check out my post section. I want y'all to consider what I wrote in that post section about the word Mary and army. Have y'all ever realized that those are the same letters inverted? Check out my post section, okay? You can leave a like or a dislike. I don't care. Just let me know that you saw it, okay? Because I think that's going to come back up again when somebody start running around talking about Maryland. The USA is Maryland in the Bible. Catch the connections on that, okay? Just something I thought about. I was like, that's interesting. Let's share it with y'all. Anyway, I'm pretty sure y'all can come up with some other connections that might be just as pertinent in that area, okay? But anyway, let me get off of here. Thank you guys for coming. Hoping to see y'all out here. And we'll see if we can do a couple hours. I think I'll block out about 3 hours for y'all today to read. I don't know how long it's going to take to read that chapter. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. Hey, Casino, I mean, I know you saw it, bruh. It's like, hey, go look at Verlin's and then tell me. And let me, yeah, if y'all been on my channel, y'all done seen it. But go into Wikipedia, put in the word Verlan, Verlan, scroll down to the chart for the Verlins and consider what they're saying in the transitions of language, okay? Because we be saying things and don't even know it. Give you one good example. One good one. In one language, we use the word crowd, okay? And, most of us were raised when our parents saying, if somebody jumps off the bridge, if the crowd jumps off the bridge, if somebody jumps off the bridge, you're going to jump too. It made it sound like crowd, okay? Running with the crowd is not always the best thing. There's a biblical verse about the crowd. I can't remember what that is right now, but something about the crowd, okay? But in the changing of the two languages and the Verlan, crowd ends up being demon. So when we say we're following the crowd, we're actually following the demon. And I'm not being religious. I'm just saying they played with us with language. So Maryland might be Army land. Okay. Might be. Could be. I don't know. It was just interesting. Okay. But scroll down to the section where it gives you the chart for the Verlins and consider what they're saying. And when you say the words, hear that shit in your head. Okay. Because as I was showing you with the book on Ireland, the former spelling and language not being standardized and the adoption of Latin, especially coming from, I believe it was chapter 1 or 2 in the book, where it talked about the Irish having an oral tradition, which had its own makeup, some things that we don't even talk about, like the Brehons and the Corabs or something like that, that they wanted to adopt the Latin script, so that's how their stuff ends up getting written down in Latin. But their stuff was not written down before, just like we talk about our oral traditions. Okay, we're so steeped in the written word that we have put no validity in our oral traditions. Okay, and so to go back, the language back then was in a different dialect. So I'll give you the one that I had shared online when I said this. Who's in the chat? I think Savage is in the chat, so he can attest to this. The word Riley was mentioned, right? Riley, like Sir Walter Riley. Okay. Raliegh, Riley, something like that, right? But then you also have Riley, which is also Riley. So when you look at the Irish script, it has all these, it has a suffix on the end of it that makes the words look really fucking crazy, okay? Like Connolly, Connelliegh, that would be Connolly, but then they turn around and they drop the IEGH and replace it with a Y. So now you get this standardized spelling of Connolly that was not the former spelling of how they said it. So when you're listening to words, you have to listen for what they're saying and the possibility of what that word could be across different dialects. The same with the word, we ran into this at one point. We ran into Roanoke or Roanoke. When you go look at the word Roanoke, you'll find out that it's an Algonquin or Iroquois word. And I bet a lot of people didn't know that. Okay. It comes from an American dialect that was here. Okay. So, you know, listen to them words. I give you another one. Y'all say it all the time. The cracker. Y'all was in there when I did my little white saltine cracker and the whip and all this other stuff. Cracker. Okay. Some word I saw in a book that was an old word, but when you go to look it up, it gives you a pastry and a cracker and a cake and a biscuit and all this other shit. But that cracker, that snappy, that joke, that pop, that punchline, okay, all that shit is the same thing that y'all saying when y'all say cracker. But y'all got it only as black and white now. It's the same fucking word. Like I said, that word is the word that made me say of Adam and Eve that somebody told a joke and Adam believed it. Okay, that shit. Eve told Adam a joke and he believed it. I don't know. Somebody told him. Yeah, okay. So anyway, let me get on out of here. That's all I need to do today. I got to get some work done. I got to get something done today while I'm home and get back out on this road again. All right, so family. Oh, you back? Okay, wait. Seems to me the rebellion would move away. And like Rabbi said, they sat down to create a language because all nations needs language. What did I say? Change the letters around to just to say we different. Yeah. I mean they play with us with the language a whole lot. That's like even in some areas where they talk about if a person has a good name. See me, I think I have a good name. Okay, some people don't like telling their real name. My real name is Veronica, which means any representation of Christ. It's the handkerchief that your granddaddy used to have in his back pocket. Okay, unfortunately, we got to deal with all the boogers. Okay, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm just clouded. Okay, but it means the true image. Okay, so when we talk, especially when you talk about like the Moors coming out and the sovereign citizen and all this bullshit coming out and the religion and all of this, they talk about well, one thing would say what's in a name, but another one would be that your name is your appellation and your appellation is what you're called out for. And the point of the matter is it's the meaning behind your name. What do I mean when I say mean? Okay. So you got to look at the meaning of the name because people would have us in religious circles go, oh, Jacob, oh, Israel. Yeah, but what does his name mean? It meant supplanter. And we ignore that for the standardization without any meaning, just looking at the person, if you would. What's the meaning of the name? Okay, I have a poem that I did. I can't find it now, but I have a piece of prose that I had done many years ago, and I went and I used the definition of the word and can't remember what the damn word is anymore. Okay, it has something to do with black ice and white salt, but I can't remember what the fucking word is. But anyway, but yeah, look at the phonetics of it and consider. Okay, the inversion, of the letters. Anyway, family, let me get on off of here. I appreciate you guys coming. And hey, Root Words, you said I couldn't get 10 people in my chat. It just dropped from 12 to 7. Shut up, nigga. Okay. Which I say, I don't know his name. He pops up on your channel. I'm subscribed on the channel I'm subscribed to. Okay. Because the surnames go back 1400 years. I personally seen mine back to the 1500s. Okay. Yeah, I was surprised to find my great 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 grandmother that I had. My middle name is her first name. We thought it came about another way, but this only speaks of it's not happenstance, it's not coincidence, it's genetic memory. Okay. Activate your genetic memory. Okay. Yeah, it's back up to 11 now. I'm looking at it. So, Root Words, stop lying, nigga. Okay, but anyway, I'm fucking with him. I'm fucking with him. Okay. Anyway, let me get on out of here and get some stuff done before this day gets away from me so I can get back here and read a little bit for you guys. All right. So, peace, family. Y'all take care. See y'all around these YouTube streets. No outro. I'm just out your way. Peace.